doing good on this Friday afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody is doing nice today. We have lots to talk about, including the potential for tropical storm and Hurricane Melissa. It's great to see you. We're on Fox Local, YouTube, and Facebook out there for today, and we've got much to discuss, so let's get into it. First, let me show you the live camera outside. And it's a really nice day out. In fact, there's not much to talk about. If you look here on the live radar, there's nothing to track. It's all nice and cleared out there. There's really nothing to look at. It's a really, really nice afternoon and evening. All right, on the southeast visible satellite, it is interesting to note. You can see these little puffy fair weather clouds that are moving by in this northeast to southwest flow. And that'll continue through the night. Notice right on the beaches there's no clouds, a little more stable air. But we'll see these clouds through the evening, no real showers. Tomorrow the winds will come more from the east, and that should have a little bit less in the way of cloud coverage for your Saturday. And because of that, it'll get notably warmer out there for tomorrow. All right, so let's talk about the tropics, because we do have an area to watch that is potentially going to be Melissa. So let me know where you're watching from on Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local. We've got a really, really nice weekend ahead of us. I'll pull this up for you, and while I'm pulling up the tropics, I'll show you the weekend weather, which is looking really, really, really nice. So let's walk you through the weekend here quickly. In fact, I'll just pull up the 7-day and let you take a look at that, because it's going to be really nice here. Let me just pull this up, take this full so you can see it. There's the 7-day. Really, really nice. This is going to load here in a second. Sorry, the system's being really slow today. Not really sure why. Here is the 7-day. Really nice for the weekend. I think most places are dry. The only change for next week is it's going to get much warmer. And next week we'll definitely be feeling a little bit more like maybe September rather than October out there for Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, so let's get into the tropics, because that's going to be the big story here for the weekend, is what's going to happen with this tropical wave. So let me just show you the big view first, because we do have multiple areas actually that are outlined in the tropics. So there's 3 zones to watch. You see all 3 are yellow right here. And there's the blobs. This one is not going to do anything. This one probably will become something, and this one we're not sure of as of right now, but the one in the East Pacific is not going to impact us. So the probabilities of these right now, this up here is 10% chance, blob up here. This one is 30% into the Caribbean, and then the one in the East Pacific we're not going to really talk about. So good news is that this is not an impact to anybody. It's a remnant nor'easter that's going to swirl away like that into the weekend. But we've got the tropical wave here drifting into the Caribbean, and the question is going to be, where on earth does this thing go? Which, to be completely frank, not a person knows. I mean, this is probably as tricky of a forecast as I remember for quite a while. Now, it is interesting to note that we have had no activity so far in the Caribbean and in the Gulf. And while that's not unprecedented, it is pretty uncommon. Definitely pretty uncommon out there. Now, we'll see what happens next week, but I do think we're going to see Melissa, and it's going to be definitely something that we'll keep an eye on. Definitely not a threat to us here right now, but it could be a concern, especially into the Caribbean. So let me know where you're watching from. Hello from Elizabeth. Perfect weather today in Titusville. Love to have more of these days. I hear you, Elizabeth Post from YouTube. Thank you for that comment. See who else is checking in. Let's see here. Hello. Let me know where you're watching from, everybody. Really appreciate you tuning in here and watching. Harry Vanderkamp says good afternoon. Hello, Harry. Good to hear from you on a lovely Friday afternoon. Good evening again from England. Gavin, pull up your comment here. It's nice of you to check in and say hello. Gavin says, good evening from England. Still checking in where Melissa ends up. We are staying in Orlando for Halloween. Great updates, by the way. I appreciate you watching us here, Gavin. That's very nice of you to say. And then we've got a couple more people. Let me know where you're watching from. Hello from Mary Pauline Churchville. Says, good afternoon from Mico, Florida, where it is very nice there. So keep the comments coming on Facebook, YouTube, and Fox Local. We got a new one here I do want to show because many of you else might be wondering. This is a good question. Possible cruise second week of November to the Bahamas. Kelly, I think you'd be fine. That late in the year, generally hurricanes are pretty rare in the Bahamas. While it's not zero, it's too far out to know, but definitely looks like things are going to be fine for your cruise there at the middle part of November to the Bahamas. That's what I would say as of right now. And we've got one more coming in now from Rich. Great weather in Brooksville. Thanks for the update. You are welcome, Brooks. We appreciate your Rich. We appreciate you watching. All right, so we've had no activity so far this year in the Gulf of the Caribbean. And again, the next name up for the year is, in fact, Melissa, which we will see what happens with Melissa as we go forward over the next couple of days. So let me take you into the forecast data here, and let's look at where the heck this tropical wave is right now. So the first thing is, here's the loop of the satellite. So there's a lot to look at right now. And here's the tropical wave, by the way. It's currently bubbling right here in the south central Atlantic, and it's just slowly drifting to the west. Now, let me zoom you out here and show you. So the tropical wave we are watching, make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to change the color to magenta, make it really pop. So here is the tropical wave of interest right there. Now, a lot of things to point out here on the tropical basin is we've got large high pressure over here. This is essentially the Bermuda High. Giant nor'easter over here with a massive cold front that doesn't quite get into the Bahamas, you see, and then it snakes back over here. See all the air coming into Florida like this, and then like that. So given this steering flow, you can tell where the corridor is for this tropical wave to track, which is just going to continue on west. Now the question will be, in terms of where this thing is going to go, the first hurdle to figure out if this is going to be a Florida threat, a Caribbean threat, a Bahamas threat, or a Puerto Rico threat. There's a really wide range of scenarios here. Now, while it's unlikely it's going to slam Florida, at least today, it's definitely within the field goal posts of what's possible. Now, I want to zoom you out here. Let me make a couple of things here. First, here's that giant nor'easter up here. That's number one. Number two, there's the high pressure. Here's the cold front. Here's the tropical wave. Now, what I want to bring your attention to out in the west is there's a big cold front out here from Missouri to Chicago. That's going to cause severe weather this weekend. This is really relevant because this is going to swing like this into next week. And that cold front, if it times this tropical wave right, this cold front, it'll scoop this up and kick it out to sea like that. So the first hurdle here is this cold front. Let me turn off these lines. They're getting distracting. The first hurdle here in figuring out if this is a big threat or not is, sorry, the system is being really slow today. There's a front right here. This front is going to come like this into next week. We call it a trough. So here's the tropical wave. It's going to drift west. Now this front should be right here by like Wednesday of next week. And if the tropical wave, whether it's a hurricane, tropical storm, or still just showers and storms, is right where that X is next Wednesday, what the GFS is trying to say, and I'll show you in a minute, is that this cold front, when it's right here, scoops up the hurricane, and instead of going left or west, it says, stops, and it gets immediately pulled to the right and goes like that. Now, if this cold front that's out here, show you, if this cold front here, if that cold front goes further east than southeast and misses capturing this tropical wave, it'll probably just drift west and could become a really big storm in this area later next week. And then God knows what it could do. You know, then it could wait for the next front and it get picked up like this. It could swing out into the Gulf and go like that. It could just go like this. It could turn around, meander, and do a zigzag like this. So the key question here is when this wave gets to about here, the cold front that's in the Midwest, when it gets to about here, does it scoop this up or does the wave slip under it and keep going into the Western Caribbean? And you're going to see that here in the models right now. I'll show them to you. So here's what we're tracking with this potential for Melissa. I'm not sure why my GFS model is not loading. Oh no, the Euro model is not loading. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll just put that there. All right, so here are the models. Let's do some model looking. So here you go. This is Sunday. We'll pick it up this Sunday. So notice here's next Thursday. So notice the contours here. You've got a closed contour here and a closed contour here. You see the GFS and the Euro up here. So by the middle of next week, we've got both models, major models say we've got Tropical Storm Melissa down here. And then the question is, again, the question is the timing. What the GFS does, in fact, let me just turn off the Euro so it's getting distracting. I'll just show you one at a time. So what the GFS does, as you see here, is it forms it, and then it pushes it across Puerto Rico, and then out to sea. This is the storm right here. This is the hurricane. So it goes like this. The wave comes in, stops, and then does this, which happens this late in the year. You get these funky steering tracks for hurricanes. That's what the GFS does. You can see here it comes in, does a loop, and then it goes out to sea. Now, here's the Monday after next weekend. There's a world of difference here. Notice how much further west the Euro is. These models are 2,000 miles apart. That's huge. Now, that's because the Euro slides this under the front. It doesn't get picked up. So by the 27th of October, you've got a hurricane here in the Euro, hurricane over here. This is going out to sea. And this is just kind of sitting here doing a dance, waiting for something to pick it up. Now that something to pick it up, we look out here in the Midwest. We make this marker black, and I'm going to make it way bigger. This is the key, is there's two cold fronts coming to pick it up. The GFS picks it up, like I said in the first one. The Euro misses it and leaves it down here. Then the question going into Halloween is, look at these monster storms out in the Midwest. These are mega Midwest storms with severe weather showing up in the models. Is that when this cold front comes by towards Halloween, the Euro a few days ago was saying that cold front would pick it up and throw it at Florida. Today what it's doing is saying that next cold front, this will just sit down here and meander and do figure eights and just, whatever, sit down there and wait and spin. Is that these cold fronts, when these get to about Florida, will pick this up and then kick it out like that. Or if the timing was right, this front over here could scoop this and throw it at Florida. So that's why this is really challenging, because you've got two mechanisms to scoop it and pull it out. There's one door that takes it out this way, another door that has a really wide range of solutions that ranges from something like both of those arrows. And it's really tricky to figure out which, because again, this thing hasn't formed yet. So, a long way to go. Nothing to be worried about yet. It is interesting to note that there has been no hurricane landfalls in the U.S. this year. That's happened 25 times in the past 124 years. Will this be a year with no hurricane landfalls? I mean, I don't work in Las Vegas, but to use an analogy, if we were in Vegas, or I worked for one of the casinos, I was giving you odds. The odds favorite right now. Let's just frame it like that. I'll eliminate the the buildup there in the wording. The favorite right now would be that there's no hurricane landfalls. It'd be a slight favorite because there's a lot of data that says this could scrape the U.S. or the Keys somehow. But right now, the likely favorite outcome would be that we add 2025 to this list. Now, there still is November. We saw Nicole in November just a few years ago. But it will be interesting to see what happens there with that. But out there tonight, it's a really, really nice night. There's from Lake Fairview. Things are really, really good. Let me show you your weekend futurecast here quick. Tomorrow's weather today. Take you into that with the Fox model here. Turn this off. Put this to like this. Zoom you in. So here's your weekend weather. It's going to be really, really nice. Notice Friday night plans are good. Here's Saturday morning, midday, just a few clouds. It's really nice. Going into Sunday, the change here is the winds are from the east Saturday, then they're from the southwest Sunday. That'll help warm the temperatures up. Sunday will be notably warmer as the winds come from this way as opposed to this way like we had on Saturday. That's the only change to Sunday. Maybe a few more clouds Sunday. And then Monday's nice too as well. So really the weekend is really, really good. Oh, our model disappeared. There we go. Yeah, notice no rain. Now this is interesting. We talked about this the other day. Here's Sunday. So this is what's left over of mega weekend severe storms in like Kentucky, Arkansas, and Nashville. Our model says the storms will hold together here into the Panhandle of Florida Sunday afternoon. Now these will be tracking this way. Now in winter we get these a lot. We get these severe storm and front setups. I don't think this is one of them for us, but I guess Sunday, Laurel Blanchard to be here watching. The only place that could see a storm or a shower would be Gainesville. As this front drops in from the northwest, we'll watch that. But I really have a hard time thinking that this is even going to hold together that much. But we'll see. So there's one model. Let's take a look at a different one. Oh, okay, it does have some storms in the Panhandle on Sunday. Yeah, but they fall apart by Gainesville. So we'll keep an eye on that. I suppose there's a small chance there could be a severe storm warning in Alachua County Sunday evening for a pocket of 50, 60 mile an hour winds or some hail. I suppose it's possible, but let me zoom you out and show you how we get to where that is. Let me put the fronts on here. Hello everybody, Facebook, YouTube, Fox Local. So here is how we get to there. This is Saturday, and you can see all of the big storms here. Monster cold front in the Midwest. Big time cold front here. That rolls through the deep south Sunday night, Saturday night to Sunday morning. You see here all the storms, and that's tracking towards North Florida for Sunday. I mean, they fall apart. I guess in the Panhandle, Sunday afternoon, there's a chance there could be a strong or severe storm. And for us, maybe Gainesville. That'd be about it. So we'll add that to the forecast for tonight. That'd be about it. And then see that front comes by. There'll be some clouds Monday, but that's about it. Now, here's the front that's going to be the key for potential tropical storm or Hurricane Melissa. It's this front right here. This is the front that's key for Melissa that shows up on the short-range models, is because, well, here's both of them. So Melissa could be forming at this time right here, and this is the front that could scoop it out like the GFS says. If that front misses it, this front here, by the time it gets to right here, then this front we would watch for the end of next week. By the time this front gets all the way out over here, now if both of those miss it, that's the way that you'd get a Florida or a U.S. threat, because then it would just sit down here and could go like that or something. So there's two fronts that could lift it up and scoop it out. Number one and number two, with the hurricane down here and out that way. So that's what we'll watch for next week. Let me look at some of your comments. Keep the comments coming. Hope everybody had a great week and a great Friday so far. Let's pull up some of the comments here. Yasmin says, hey, from Beachside, Daytona. Hey, have a cocktail, have a snack, have something with there for me. I love that. Beachside, that's really nice. Kelly, hello, hello, hello. Kelly says, thank you. You're welcome, Kelly. Appreciate you watching here on Facebook, YouTube, and Fox Local. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put them in the feed. Hello again, Yasmin from Beachside in Daytona Beach. All right, so that's kind of the outlook for the weather here right now. Now, I do want to take you on a little bit of a different course here, and I want to bring in the rest of our storm team. Meteorologist Brooks Garner, Jessica Dobson, Laurel Blanchard, TJ Springer. We do have some other things I'd like to share with you, but if you have any comments while I get this queued up, if you have any questions, comments about the weather, please let me know. We've got, again, you can comment on YouTube and Facebook. So I think that this is the folder I'm looking for. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up here for you. Oh, Laurel today was at a school. That was very nice. We were talking about that earlier. Oh, I had this queued up and it's not loading. Give me a second, y'all. I wanted to get Brooks and Laurel in here. So we'll try that over the next second. But if you have any other comments, questions, please put them in the feed. It's a lovely Friday afternoon. Let me pull up a camera here. We'll take a live look at things outside. Beautiful day. That's the view from downtown. It's really, really nice outside. If you have a comment, question, again, love to hear from you. I'm going to try to get outside tomorrow, even though I still have 1 foot. A little Oktoberfest action tomorrow. It should be a nice day to get outside tomorrow. Really, really, really nice in Florida. A lot cooler up to the north, that is for sure already. Now, there has been a lot of snow in the Pacific Northwest. Sierra Nevada really starting to get some snow here over the last couple of days. No snow here, thankfully, anytime soon. Okay, so I do have my story I want to share with you guys from Laurel. It's just I wanted to make sure the audio was working. There we go. Okay, so it's 3:23. Now, Laurel Blanchard today was out at a local school visit this morning. We all love doing school visits. Great getting some community outreach with the weather. And for more on where Laurel's adventures took her this morning, I want to bring in my colleague, meteorologist Laurel Blanchard now, so we'll hear from her.
Meteorologist Laurel Blanchard is live at Sea Park Elementary in Satellite Beach. Good morning, Laurel.
Good morning, guys. Hope you are having a wonderful morning like I am down here in Brevard County. Take a look at all of my new friends that I've met this morning. So something really exciting that we are doing here at Sea Park Elementary this morning is talking all about meteorology, because this school is really integrating weather into their studies. So we could actually take a look at all of the TV screens that are around this cafeteria right now. These are all different weather aspects that are being brought into this school, because something also that's really exciting that Sea Park Elementary is doing is they are bringing in a weather system, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But you can already see just in the cafeteria, they're integrating weather, math, science, and reading even into some spaces where kids are just hanging out, which is something that's really amazing. And we have one of the parents that was really heading up the weather system that was being elementary. Richard, how you doing today?
Really well. How about yourself?
Doing very well. So talk to me a little bit about what you are bringing in here and why you actually brought this in for the students to enjoy.
Sure. So as part of the school advisory council, we in order to bring some areas concentrate on science, math, and reading, and we put forth a proposal. We got a grant, or at least we submitted a grant, and we purchased 4 TVs and a professional weather station with a lightning detector in order to bring weather forecasting prediction into the classroom so kids can learn about how we do forecasting.
And that is great. And what are you kind of hoping that this is going to lead to some of the students? Because we were talking a little bit earlier, we're kind of in like the middle of a presentation right now. And folks, raise your hand if you were possibly thinking on going into interested in weather. Yeah, so many friends. What are you kind of hoping that this is just going to do for the students here at Sea Park?
Well, really, we want to stimulate intellectual curiosity, and that could hopefully transition into maybe some of the students pursuing a STEM career or even becoming a meteorologist. So.
And that is amazing. So again, kind of focusing back on the TVs that we have here, you already mentioned the lightning and that you guys are starting to use a little bit more, but you have live cameras kind of showing the current conditions, radars over in the corner. You also have the sunspots over there kind of showing the space weather aspect. Something really cool that you're bringing into this school.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to look at what we are looking at from a local weather perspective with the weather station, and then we actually have visual cues here within Satellite Beach to see what kind of weather conditions are out there. Then we kind of scope out and look at a regional perspective, and we actually leverage Fox 35's radar picture, and then we also look at what space is bringing to the table with the sun and how that influences the Earth with geomagnetic storms, sunspots, solar flares, how that can affect local power grids, and then we also have a live feed from the International Space Station, so you can kind of see where local weather is affecting around the world. Cover and storms and the like.
That is amazing, and of course all of that warms my heart. And then you guys really interested in getting to know your weather system? Yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys, we are here at Sea Park Elementary, and we're going to continue kind of talking about the weather, and we will be showing off the Thunder Truck in a little bit, but until then, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
YouTube, Facebook, and Fox Local. It's going to be, again, really nice for the next week. Just maybe a small chance of a thunderstorm late Sunday in the Gainesville area. So appreciate you watching. I'll see you coming up tonight on the news on Fox 35. And again, hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.